Do you know why perception is key? Hey, Jason Cheney here, and we've been going through the Bob Proctor's coaching program, the Success Puzzle, and it's been absolutely amazing. I have to be honest with you, studying this material and studying it the way that Chantel taught me to study it, it has really been pushing me out of my comfort zone, so to speak. Within these past couple of days, actually, like something. Yesterday was a real amazing day. I'll talk about it one day. I just don't want to talk about it right now. It's still a little too fresh. And if you see me keep looking down, it's because I'm actually filming on a different camera. I'm not using my phone right now. I'm using a Insta360, and this is the 1-inch mod. So let me know how the video looks. Let me know if you like this type of video, if the angle looked good. I ended up investing in one of these because, I'm gonna be honest with you, I got tired of people always ask me like, hey man, show me parts of the city, show me stuff you're doing, show me this. Because if you're not used to filming when you're doing stuff, especially when traveling, it takes you out of the experience. So it's one of those things I really don't like to be out of my experience. So I ended up investing in an action camera to where I can just clip it on my backpack and just have it out when I'm going. So you will be seeing footage around South Africa, Johannesburg, Pretoria, and I'm probably going to start taking some like weekend bus trips to other little areas and just check out different places. However, let's get back to perception. Why is perception the key? I kept hearing Bob talk about this, Bob Proctor, and he kept talking about, you got to change your perception. You got to change your perception. One of the things I do, I follow his advice when I'm working or if I'm thinking about certain things. Like yesterday, I was writing a couple of paragraphs in the book. In the book that I'm writing, I move and change the areas that I'm looking at, because he say you're looking at something from one perspective, you change your area, change the way you're standing, it will be a totally different perspective, a completely new picture. And so I want to talk about like why perception is so key and so important. And it's very crucial to not only our happiness, but our quality of life. So I live in South Africa, right? I'm currently in South Africa, Johannesburg, South Africa. Most people, when they hear that name, they're like, oh, why are you there? It's dangerous, kidnappers, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And the truth is, it's not a dangerous city. It's a very safe city here. Even though people do not want to believe it. Like, we have to change our perception. We can't keep looking at the news. We can't keep looking at past images. And we can't just keep listening to past stories. If so, nothing's going to change. And coming here, and it's funny because if you came here, like I'm in the area, I ain't gonna say the name of the area, but I'm in the CBD area, in a really nice part of it. Very safe neighborhood, very quiet neighborhood at night. However, in the daytime, you can get the perception that this might be dangerous. One of the reasons why is you hear police sirens all day long during the daytime. And the average person, they'd be like, oh man, it must be a crime or something. And the truth is, because I watch them from my window all the time, they cut their sirens on to get traffic to stop so they can just keep going. There's nothing going on here. Just 20 minutes ago, before I was going to do this, decide to record this video, it was just a siren just going. And I was looking, I'm like, okay, is it an accident or something on the highway? I can look at it from here in my mirror, here from my window. And literally, it was just a cop. He would just cut his sirens on to get around a block. Then once he got behind this building right here in front of me, he cut his siren off and kept going. It happens on a daily basis. However, most people say this is a dangerous area. Oh, it's a lot of crime. Oh, that's why the police are there a lot. It's not true at all. And this is because it's a perception issue. I have a perception of Johannesburg. I feel like this is one of the safest cities I've been in. I rate it in the top 10 easily. It's a very easy city to adjust to. It's very highly, the infrastructure is really great. I rode the Haten train, I don't know how to say it, but it's a train system, really nice train system, really clean. I'm used to coming from Colombia, I'm used to just standing up on trains and subways, and it was like, hey, no, go sit down, it's safer for you. I was like, whoa, like, it really took me for a back, because it was like, people are not recognizing the good that's here in this city because their perception is focused on the negative. And I can tell you, most people who have a negative perception in life, they usually do one of two things. One, they watch a lot of news. There's nothing great about the news, minus the weather and maybe traffic. After that, there's no point in watching it. The last time I watched the news, I think it was about maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I watched it and I literally kept track of each story they were talking about. Because I'm like, is it really this much crime they talking about? They were talking about the same damn story over and over and over again, and they were just rewording it, giving it different titles, different headlines. They were using marketing. And when I saw that, I'm like, hold up, this is just marketing. They're telling you the same story, giving you a little bit of different information, and they're changing the perspective of it. It's so freaking crazy. You can even watch Fox News, CNN, and what's the other one? Whatever the other one, CNBC or whoever the other news plays. All three of them will report on the exact same issue, be in the exact same location, but in a different area, and they're changing the perspective of each story to suit whatever narrative they want. And so the reason why I'm saying this is we have to start forming the narrative of our own life. What is the perspective you're going to approach in your life? Are you seeing everything is hard, people holding you back, there's no opportunity, while the average person is walking around with a supercomputer in their hands, they can get every bit of information they ever want in the world at their fingertips? Or are you going to realize the world that we live in? We live in a technological advanced society. We live in a world with opportunities. We live in a world where no matter who you are, what you are, and what how your upbringing was, you have an opportunity to succeed. I'm a prime example. I think my mom was born in Texas. Most of my family, I think they were originally in Chicago, I think, because I was born 10 years after everyone else. So like I don't know much about the family history from that point. However, I grew up, we were living in South Oak Cliff. That's when my grandmother's house, still there to this day, by Ledbetter Park, I'm sorry. Right by Ledbetter Park. It shows you how long I've been there, since I've been there. Then I grew up in Redbird area. If you're familiar with Dallas, this apartment's called, at that time they were called Canterbury Apartments. I don't know what the name is now. And I went to that school, Ronald McNair. Like, people growing up in those areas, you're not seeing many of these people traveling the world. You're not seeing many of those people that's out of doing anything productive outside of going in and out of jail. And I'm not saying it in a bad way. What I'm saying is I changed my perspective as a child, and I didn't even know what I was doing. When I was running to comic books, when I was running to video games, all these things to escape and just let my imagination be free, I didn't realize I was building the patterns of success to make sure I didn't go down the road of other people in those neighborhoods. I was changing my perspective and I wasn't aware of it. And now that I've changed my perspective and I am aware of it, I'm not 600 pounds anymore. I'm not sick anymore. I don't have heart issues anymore. I don't have paralysis in my left leg anymore. I don't have just everyday aches and pains for no damn reason anymore. Like, really think about this. So focus on the three areas and just pick one. Pick one out of the three. Where do you want to change your perspective? Do you want to change it around your happiness? Do you want to change it around your health? Or do you want to change it around your wealth? Pick one, because once you change your perspective in that one area, it's going to automatically kick in other areas. If you're focusing on your happiness, you're going to be able to have better health. A happy person is healthier. A happy person moves more than a sick person. A happy person does more than a depressed person. I'm a prime example. I was clinically diagnosed with severe anxiety, severe depression. In other words, PTSD, if you want to just really, broaden it out. So because of that, I wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't moving. I wasn't going out exercising. Let me see how many. Like today, I have already done a mile, 1.3 miles, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning here. I've been up at 4 in the morning. I've done my ab routine. I've done my push-ups. I walked 1.3 miles. I still have another 4 miles to go for the day. I've drunk at about 48 ounces. No, I'm sorry. I'm at 63 to 64 ounces of fluids for the day. And we're talking about 8 o'clock in the morning. That is someone who has a very different perspective in life than someone who is sick, who doesn't believe there's no opportunity to get healthier, there's no opportunity to get wealthier, and there's no opportunity to get happier. So, if you take anything from this video, let let the biggest key that you want to take away be change your perspective on life. What do you want your life to be? Stop allowing life, society, or other people to tell you what you deserve in your life. This is your life. You only have one shot at this, and make it the best because you have the right to do it and you deserve it. And I'll see you tomorrow.